So if we're trying to calculate mass, and we don't know what the mass is, but we know the volume, and we know density, then we can use that to figure out what mass is. The reason is that density is equal to mass divided by volume. And it's usually measured in grams per liter or milliliter. So if density is equal to mass over volume, and I want to know the mass, I can actually rearrange this formula so that mass is equal to volume times density. So for example, if I were trying to calculate the mass of some water in my calorimeter, and I don't know how much it weighed because I didn't have the opportunity to weigh a liquid, I could just look at how many milliliters I added. So let's say I put 50 milliliters of water into my system. And I can use a table, just like I could use a table for specific heat capacity, for density, because density for pure substances always stays the same. And the density of water is really simple to remember. It happens to be 1 gram per milliliter. So if I want to know what my mass is, all I need to do is substitute the volume and the density into this calculation. And if you remember how we manipulated units before, you can see that my milliliters will cancel out. I'll be left with grams, which is what mass is. And so using that, I can then figure out that I actually have 50 grams of water. So anytime I want to use this density to figure out my mass, I need to know what the density of the substance is. If it's not water, it's not 1. I would need to look on a chart and find out. And I would have to know how many milliliters of whatever substance was that I put into my container. And that's how you use density to help calculate mass.